There comes a moment in every life when the noise stops for just a second and a question rises from deep inside. Is this really the life I'm meant to live? Not the safe life, not the comfortable life, but the life where you look in the mirror and say, I showed up, I fought, I became the person I was meant to be. Because every great story, every movie, every legend, every person we admire has one thing in common. There is always a hero, but here's the truth. Most people never realize you are not just watching the story, you are the main character of it. And the problem is not that people don't have potential. The problem is that most people spend their entire lives acting like background characters in their own story, waiting, doubting, hiding. Heroes don't wait for permission. They decide. So if you want to become the hero of your life, there are 3 truths you must understand. There comes a moment in every life when the excuses run out. A moment when you look at your situation, your struggles, your circumstances, and you realize something powerful. Nothing changes until you decide to change it. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to believe in them, waiting for the world to finally give them a fair chance. But the truth is, heroes are not created in perfect situations. Heroes are created in moments where everything feels unfair, difficult, and uncertain. Yet they choose to rise anyway. Taking responsibility is the moment your power begins. It means you stop blaming the past. You stop pointing fingers at your environment, your upbringing, or the people who doubted you. You stop telling yourself the story that life has been harder for you than it has been for others. Because the moment you blame everything around you, you give away the one thing that can change your life, your control. Think about it. If your life is always someone else's fault, then your life is always someone else's responsibility to fix. And that means you are powerless. But heroes refuse to live powerless. They make a decision that says, this is my life. And from this moment forward, I take ownership of it. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you decide to go. Look at the story of a young man who once struggled in school, who was told by teachers that he would never amount to much. He faced failure after failure, but instead of accepting that label, he made a choice. He took responsibility for his growth. He studied harder. He trained his mind. He disciplined his habits. Over time, that same person became one of the most influential voices in his field. That transformation didn't happen because the world suddenly became fair. It happened because he stopped waiting for life to change and started changing himself. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself for everything. It's about recognizing that no matter what has happened to you, the next move is always yours. Life will throw obstacles in your path. Some of them will be painful. Some of them will be completely outside your control, but the hero never wastes energy asking why it happened. The hero asks a better question: what am I going to do about it? Because every challenge carries a hidden opportunity. Every setback carries a lesson. Every failure carries a piece of wisdom that can make you stronger. The problem is that most people never look for the lesson. They look for the escape. They complain. They wait. They hope someone else will come along and fix their situation. But heroes understand something different. They understand that responsibility is not a burden, it is freedom. The moment you take responsibility, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your future. You begin to control your habits. You control how hard you work. You control how you respond to failure. You control the effort you bring every single day. And those small decisions start building momentum. One disciplined morning turns into a productive week. One focused week turns into a powerful year. One powerful year can completely transform a life. History is full of people who decided to take responsibility when everything around them suggested they should give up. People who refused to let their circumstances define their future. People who turned struggle into strength and pain into purpose. They were not born extraordinary. They simply made an extraordinary decision. They decided that their life was their responsibility. And when you reach that moment, the moment you stop waiting, stop blaming, stop hiding behind excuses, something incredible happens. You begin to realize that the hero you've been searching for, the one who changes the story, who overcomes the obstacles, who rises when life gets hard, has been inside you the entire time. All it takes is the courage to take responsibility and step into that role. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in the human mind. It whispers doubts into your thoughts. It shows you every possible way things could go wrong. It tells you to stay where it's safe, where it's familiar, where nothing challenges you. And for most people, that voice becomes the reason they never move forward. But heroes hear that same voice and they move anyway. The truth is, fear is not the enemy. Fear is a signal. It appears whenever you are standing at the edge of growth, at the doorway of something bigger than the life you have known before. Every dream worth chasing will come with uncertainty. Every goal that matters will come with risk. And every step toward the life you want will come with a moment where your heart beats faster and your mind asks, what if I fail? That moment is where heroes are made, because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to take action even while fear is standing right beside you. Think about the first time someone decides to chase a dream that no one around them understands. Maybe it's the person who wants to start a business when everyone else says it's too risky. Maybe it's the student who wants to pursue a passion instead of following the safe path everyone expects. Maybe it's someone who has failed before but chooses to try again when the world assumes they will quit. That decision is never comfortable. The unknown never feels safe. But heroes understand something most people miss. The life you want is always waiting on the other side of the fear you avoid. History is full of people who acted despite fear, people who felt the same doubts, the same pressure, the same uncertainty that you feel right now, yet they took the step anyway. Imagine standing in front of thousands of people to speak when your hands are shaking. Imagine stepping onto the field knowing the entire world is watching your performance. Imagine risking years of work on an idea that could fail tomorrow. Those moments are terrifying, but they are also powerful because every time you step forward despite fear, you prove something to yourself. You prove that fear does not control your future. The strange thing about fear is that it grows when you avoid it, but it shrinks when you face it. The first step is always the hardest. The first attempt is always the most uncomfortable. But once you move, once you act, once you push past that invisible wall your mind created, you begin to see something clearly. Fear was never the barrier, it's the test. A test to see how badly you want the life you say you desire. Heroes don't wait for fear to disappear before they act. They act while their heart is racing. They act while their mind is full of doubt. They act because they understand that progress only belongs to those who move forward anyway. And every time they do, they become stronger. Their confidence grows. Their belief grows. Their world expands beyond the limits they once thought were impossible to break. So when fear shows up in your life, don't see it as a warning to stop. See it as a signal that you are standing at the edge of something meaningful. Take the step, move forward. Act anyway, because on the other side of fear is the version of you that you were always meant to become. Every journey reaches a moment where the road becomes difficult, a moment where the excitement fades, the results are slow, and the voice in your mind starts asking a dangerous question. Is this really worth it? This is the moment where most people quit, not because they are weak, not because they lack talent, but because the path to anything meaningful is never easy. It demands patience when progress feels invisible. It demands discipline when motivation disappears. It demands belief when the world around you begins to doubt. But this is exactly where heroes separate themselves from everyone else. Heroes keep going. They understand something powerful. Success is rarely about who starts the race. It's about who refuses to stop running. Think about how many dreams die quietly, not because they were impossible, but because someone gave up too early. A person works on a goal for months, maybe even years, and when the breakthrough doesn't come fast enough, they walk away. They tell themselves it wasn't meant to be. They convince themselves the dream was unrealistic. But what they don't realize is that many breakthroughs happen right after the moment people feel like quitting. History shows it again and again. The greatest achievements were built by people who refused to stop when things got hard. People who faced failure, rejection, and doubt over and over again, yet still took another step forward. Imagine training for years while losing games. Imagine working on an idea while everyone around you questions whether it will ever succeed. Imagine waking up every day with the same goal in your heart while progress feels painfully slow. That level of persistence is not easy. But heroes understand that greatness requires endurance. They know that every step forward, no matter how small, is still movement. Every failure carries a lesson. Every setback strengthens the mind. While others quit, heroes adapt. They learn. They grow stronger with every challenge placed in front of them. And over time, something incredible happens. The same struggle that once felt impossible becomes the very thing that builds their strength. The obstacles that once slowed them down become the reason they are prepared when opportunity finally appears. Most people stop too soon to see what they are capable of becoming. But heroes stay in the fight. They keep pushing when others walk away. They keep believing when doubt fills the room. And because of that persistence, they eventually reach places that once seemed completely out of reach. Not because the path was easy, but because they refused to quit. And when you look at every great story ever told, every legend, every person who changed their life or the world around them, you'll notice something powerful. They all faced moments where quitting would have been easier, moments where fear was loud, moments where responsibility felt heavy, moments where progress seemed impossible to see, but they kept moving because heroes are not born in fort. They are built in struggle. They are shaped in the moments when life tests their patience, their courage, and their belief. The difference between the life most people live and the life they dream about often comes down to a single decision. The decision to step up when it would be easier to step back, to take responsibility when blaming would feel better, to act when fear tells you to wait, to keep going when the world expects you to quit. That is where the story changes. And the truth is, your story is still being written. Every day you wake up, every choice you make, every challenge you face is another page in that story. The question is not whether obstacles will appear. They will. The question is not whether fear will show up. It will. The real question is who you decide to be when those moments arrive. Will you stay on the sidelines of your own life, or will you rise and become the hero of your story? Because the world doesn't need another spectator. It needs people who are willing to stand up, take ownership, face the fear, and keep moving forward no matter how hard the path becomes. And that hero the world is waiting for might be the person listening to these words right now.